We are ready. Can I start?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So once again, thank you so much for your generosity. And there is one thing that I always say when I'm in the presence of you, I feel like Mercury and you are Jupiter. I feel always in a position of learning, and it is a great honor for me and for Brazil. People are eager to hear from you, especially about this transit into Pisces. For some people, the Sade Sati is going to start, and this is a huge concern that people, when they come to me for consultations, they get super concerned about the Sade Sati. And if you could explain a little bit, what can we expect about this transit and about Sade Sati, if you can share your wisdom with us, that would be so great.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu Priya, for having me here. If I speak in English, will everybody be able to understand? Or is there a translation that would be required for some of them who are joining in?
Yes, I don't know if they fluently understand English, but I'm not going to translate because I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to make difficult for you to conclude your thoughts. So you just speak as much as you want. And then if you want me to translate, then I'll translate.
No, what we can do is you can probably, after we have, because we are recording this, once we are finished with today's session, you can probably add the translation later on if you want to. And you
That
can ask
sounds
me any
good.
questions. Yes, okay. Now, Saturn is going to be moving, what we call as Shani, will be transiting into Pisces, the sign which is called as Meena Rashi, on the 29th of March. And Saturn's transit is usually observed very, very keenly. Is because Saturn, if you just think about it, Saturn takes roughly about 2.5 years for it to transit one Rashi or one zodiac sign. So which makes it that Saturn takes typically 1 degree of the zodiac, it travels per month. Okay, so it typically takes about 3.5 months to go through one nakshatra pada, which means 1/4 of a nakshatra. So this transition will mean for many of people who have their moon in Aries in their natal chart, they will be starting their Sade Sati.
Yes.
Now, I want to say that Sade Sati's effect, which is 7.5 years, is typically felt whenever Saturn comes 45 degrees from, yes, people can, whenever I'm speaking, if there is a way that Zoom also has, they can auto translate it into Portuguese as well. So if
Yes,
there
this
is an
is what
option,
I'm trying. I have captions here. This is what I'm trying.
captions. Yes.
Okay. Yes, it
So the
is.
captions.
It is running, I guess.
Okay, great. Now, Sade Sati will operate more strongly when Saturn is at 45 degrees from your natal moon or Chandra. So suppose your natal moon is at 15 degrees of Aries, then your Sade Sati is typically going to begin from 29th of March. If your moon is within 15 degrees of Aries. But when it goes further down, then it is not going to show that much of an impact. So it depends on where your natal moon is. So 45 degrees ahead of your natal moon and 45 degrees behind your natal moon, whenever Saturn enters, that is when technically your Sade Sati's effects will start you will start feeling the effects. So not everybody who has moon in Aries would start immediately. If you are in the second 15 degrees, which means from 15 degrees to 30 degrees of Aries, if your natal moon is, which is typically, you say, if your nakshatra of your birth is Bharani nakshatra or Kritika nakshatra, then your Sade Sati is not going to start, as per me, as per the traditional books as well.
And then when is going to start?
It will start whenever, Saturn will be, 45 degrees, which means as Saturn moves, you'll slowly start seeing that it will start coming into the 45-degree range. That is when you will see that the influence of Sade Sati is going to be more. Now, I also want to say, this is the common mistake most of them do, is you will also have to see the transit of Saturn through various nakshatras and the placement of the nakshatra lords also in your chart. So Saturn in Pisces will be going through the fourth quarter, which is called as the nakshatra is Purva Bhadrapada. In those people's case, if Jupiter is aspecting your natal moon, then it is not going to make you feel very bad about your, Sade Sati. Did you
Thank you for
understand
saying
it?
this, because I have now the third aspect of Saturn on my natal moon. I'm going to have, from March 29 on.
Right. And then what will happen is Saturn will be going, I'm looking at my data table to see when Saturn is going to transit. Saturn will be entering on 28 typically of April into Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And whenever it enters there, if natal Saturn is aspecting your moon, then you will not feel as much as you would feel if any other planet was aspecting it, because it is going through the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, which is associated with Saturn. So remember, these are key points that I'm mentioning here, that there have been many rise also. People have got married, people have reached their peak during their Sade Sati as well. The first term of President Trump, he was in Sade Sati. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also in his Sade Sati when he was elected as the Prime Minister of India for the first time in 2014. So it doesn't mean that Sade Sati is something that you have to fear. Okay? Sade Sati will definitely bring some highlights to some areas of your life where you have neglected it. So in my view, the areas that you can also see where Saturn will be more comfortable as per Vedic astrology is if you're part of any satsang, like what we're doing right now, then the Saturn's influence is not going to be felt very much, which means you are going and learning some ancient sciences. Saturn is associated with the ancient Vidya or ancient knowledge. And this ancient knowledge could be from anywhere. So the traditional knowledge, the classical knowledge, if you can do, then Saturn is not going to impact you. And the other thing in Vedic astrology, we always say, if you are worshipping the monkey god, which we say as Hanumanji, also Saturn doesn't impact you, because Hanuman is a god who stands for loyalty, discipline, and also he shows humility. So anybody who shows humility, dedication, determination, loyalty towards his master, and humility So then Saturn will not be able to impact you. Sade Sati is a time when you should go deeper inside and you should do things that you can do for common people. Especially, they say Saturn is very happy when you are addressing people who are handicapped or physically disabled, people who need crutches, people who need wheelchairs. So Shani is very benevolent on these people. So all kinds of places where there is discussions that happen, debate that happens. This is not given by me. This is given in a Vedic scholarly book, which is called as Fala, written by an ancient scholar called as Mantreshwara. So he says, any schools of wisdom you go, then Shani will not affect you. Also, the other thing for Sade Sati that I would give you is doing your own duties and not relying on people to do your duties. For example, the duties like cleaning your own vessels, cleaning your own toilets. At least on Saturdays, if you can clean your stuff, remove all aspects which are been sitting as clutter in the house. So before 29th of March, for all your participants, I want to say, do what we call as a spring cleaning. Spring cleaning means see if there are any boxes which are sitting, especially old footwear, which you have never used and it is sitting there. Leather shoes or leather thing that you have not used for more than 6 months. It is very unlikely you will be needing to use those shoes. Look at it. If there are old clothes, old shoes, old hats, and other things that are sitting inside your house which you have not used for more than 6 to 8 months, it is very unlikely that you will ever use it ever in your life. Then one more tip I want to say for people who are going through their Sade Sati. Apply after you take a shower. And start this for women. You should start on a Friday if it is possible, or you can start on a Thursday. But Friday is good for women, and for men, you can also start on a Thursday or you can start on a Saturday. What am I telling you is to apply a little bit of oil, if you have coconut oil, on your skin as a moisturizer. And then on Saturdays, if it is possible to go for a foot massage, foot reflexology, or anything where you are using oil and you are getting yourself massaged, that is a good process, because if your legs are kept healthy, your life will be very smooth, especially from your knees to your feet. You know how people used to initially get the blessings of Shani is when there is a guru, the student used to sit and massage the feet of the guru. By just massaging the feet of the guru, the student would have got the blessings of Shani. Okay, so these are some of the themes that I would say. So cleaning, then doing also, see, Shani can be also rectified if you are doing any kind of breathing exercises. Now, I don't mean to say it has to be only pranayama, but any kind of practices that you're doing with breath control. Okay, even deep breathing also makes your Shani much better, because Shani controls your heart chakra and the lungs area, which is called as a anahata chakra. Okay, so this area, whatever you're thinking of, if your Shani is weak, you will constantly get flu, you will have, infection which would be there, and cough. People can get, lung infections, bronchitis. These are all an indication of Shani not being good in your chart. Similarly, feet, ligament tear, you get, when you're exercising, you get, all of these can be also healed if you're going through your Sade Sati. Then finally, Shani, I will tell you, the other best thing is to be considerate and nice towards, or considerate towards animals. Shani represents all kinds of animals. There is a form of Shiva which is worshipped in the form of the Lord of the animals, and he is the main deity of the city, which is the capital city of Nepal, which is called as Kathmandu. And the main deity there is called as Pashupati Nath. Pashupati means is Shiva in the form of the Lord of the animals and birds. So worshipping him also will bring you, or praying to him also will bring you the benevolence of Shani. So I'm open to have any questions if there are anybody who wants to ask me any specific questions. But two other things I want to add to your audiences. Shani's transit through Pisces is a great time for spiritual awakening, for spiritual transformations, for going on pilgrimages, to also going to your roots where you have come from, where your ancestors have come from, looking at your family tree, looking at making gratitude prayers if you want to heal the genetical, disinformation which might be there, because of which you might be going through some genetically transmitted ailments, diseases which is coming from in your genes. So this is the time when you can actually tweak and change and bring grace into your life of Shani, because he has come 30 years completely to form, to come to Pisces. This is his last leg that he is going through before he goes back into Aries. So he has taken 29 and a half years to re-enter into Pisces. So think about what has happened almost 30 years ago, and then you will be able to see we'll come full circle. Yes. If there is anybody who wants to ask me specific questions, I can elaborate on any of those questions that they might have. Even if they ask in Portuguese, you can translate that and you can ask me any questions that they have.
Sure. Gustavo is the name of the person. He is asking about the wars, Ukraine and Russia. If Saturn in Pisces this year can trigger some of these problems that we are watching nowadays.
See, I'm not very great into mundane astrology, but what I want to say is Saturn transiting into Pisces, and in May, the middle of the May, around 15th of May, Jupiter will be going into Gemini, in the sidereal zodiac of Gemini. So when this happens, both these heavy duty planets, outer planets, are going to aspect the sign of Sagittarius. And Jupiter is going to move at a very fast pace in the sign of Gemini, which means typically Jupiter should take about 1 year, 11 and a half months to go through one zodiac sign. But in this time, Jupiter is in a phase where he's sprinting through Gemini. And by November of 2025, he has completed his, from May 15th to November, he's already gone into Cancer. So which means within a span of 5 months, he has covered the entire sign of Gemini. So in my view, whenever Saturn and Jupiter are combined aspect is happening on Sagittarius, that's when we should see more peace of mind. We should see some, the world evolving towards more grace, and we should see there should be some peace that might come, which could be a welcome thing for the people of Ukraine. This is only, I feel, is because Sagittarius, you should remember, has us as a sign, is connected to higher knowledge, higher wisdom, and it's also about wars. So when Saturn and Jupiter are combined aspecting, you should see some sort of a peace deal or some resolution can happen, which is path breaking. So that is my view, is it should happen between May and November of this year.
Right. I have one question. I heard that Saturn always listens, he's very traditional, and he always listens to his master, to his guru, Jupiter. And some say that Saturn behaves better in Pisces than in Capricorn. Do you see the way? Do you agree with this point of view?
Yes, I completely say that Saturn's journey into Pisces is when Saturn is typically standing in front of his real master, is not Jupiter. Who he admires the most is Sri Krishna.
Sri Krishna, I know that.
He appreciates Sri Krishna and he stands and he has looked. Saturn has observed Sri Krishna's, what we say is Vishwarupa. If you have heard of the Vishwarupa, is that he has shown his complete thing to only Arjuna, but Shani and Hanuman were the two witnesses who have done and seen the Vishwarupa. When he was showing, it was Hanumanji who was sitting on the chariot and the flag, and Arjuna had seen the Vishwarupa. But Arjuna, because being a human, he has forgotten it multiple times. He has forgotten Bhagavad Gita that was also narrated to him. Krishna had to give him Bhagavad Gita multiple times for him to remember. So Shani was seeing, and Shani and Hanuman were in awe. Awe means they were shell shocked to look at the complete, because that is Vishwarupa, shows your multiverses. All the creators thing can be seen through Krishna. So I feel Krishna consciousness, Krishna's thing will become more, because what does Krishna means? Krishna means, the word Krishna also means who is slightly darker shade of color. And Shani, if he is aspecting in your chart, your Lagna or your Lagna Lord, he can give you slightly, shade of darkness can come in your skin in comparison to your family members. When I'm saying that is, if everybody in your family is fair, you cannot be, black or dark. But compared to your other siblings, if Shani's impact is there on your Lagna in Jyotish, or Lagnadipati, which means the Lagna Lord, then these people could have slightly, shadow or a little bit of color might also come. And that's why Krishna was very beautiful to look at, even though he had a darker skin. Very, very, very. And people, if they are going to Vrindavan, I was fortunate to go to Vrindavan last year. There are many miracles. Many people say that when they are going around Vrindavan, they have had experiences with Krishna coming and giving them many miraculous events in their life. People have seen Krishna smile. Young boy is walking or somebody, and suddenly they will look at him and then he will disappear. So Shani will be feeling that he wants to do some miracles and he wants to give something for the humanity. He's not about he's not thinking about giving pain, but I think he wants to bring more spiritual wisdom, elevate the consciousness of the people now. And that's why you will see more and more people in the world will be coming towards spiritual growth. I'm not talking about religion here. I'm just purely talking about the higher consciousness that we want to evolve towards. There would be more compassion, there would be more love, there would be more acceptance, there would be more humility. This is something that I think we should try to imbibe, because today the world has a lot of injustice that is happening. There is a lot of things that are people are confused in life. But I want to say, with this Saturn's transit into Jupiterian sign, you will see a lot of changes that will happen in the social fabric in which we live in. This is my firm belief, and Jupiter is going to play a very important role in this.
Right. Thank you very much. I don't want you to stay too long with us. Actually, I want, but I know you are a very busy person. Do you think it is possible tonight for you to have a quick analysis on Saturn and Pisces ascendant-wise? Or if you don't have that time, we can schedule another time.
I can quickly do analysis even now if people want to stay along, or if you want to do another time, I'm okay with it. But I prefer this Zoom meeting more because it helps me to sit in my office and do it rather than doing it on Instagram.
Okay, okay. Whatever you want. If you want tonight, if you have the time tonight, I didn't want to lose the chance of listening to you.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to ask me if there is any specific questions, right, we can take, and then I can do the ascendant-wise with the Saturn's transit. Yes, of course, we can focus only on that, and then we can do that either
Okay.
later today, or probably if that works for your audiences tomorrow. And if you want to say this time tomorrow is going to work, we can definitely schedule one, and we can stick with the audience who wants to come in. And I don't know, with Zoom, if the link has been sent, if there are more people who want to join in, I'm very happy to go through all the ascendants and how that result will be operating for all the audiences.
Okay.
So, but I'm open. Whatever suggestions your audience wants to give me, I am at service. So let me know how can I come and help you guys.
Vocês entenderam? Ele está dizendo que se vocês quiserem, ele volta amanhã nesse mesmo horário para fazer as previsões para todos os ascendentes, mas é vocês que vão dizer para ele o que ele tem que fazer. O que vocês preferem? Vocês preferem agora? Vocês preferem depois?
Eu prefiro agora, se puder. Amanhã eu tenho compromisso. I prefer today if you can.
Tá, manda. They are saying, só fecha o teu microfone agora, Gustavo. They are saying that they would like to listen to you tonight if you can.
Okay, yeah, then we can do it right away. If we are good, we can start. If you are okay with now, or you want to reschedule it for another time.
They say that they prefer now, if you have the
Okay.
time, of course.
I have the time. I can do. Okay, let's start with Aries.
Right.
So anybody who has, I'm speaking largely for the Aries as the ascendant. So Saturn will be transiting in the 12th house. This is the time I will give a little bit of focus. This is the time for Aries people. They have to be able to pay off their karmic debts. They have to also look at becoming more detached. There could be opportunities during the Saturn transit in the 12th house to go towards deep spiritual realizations. Sleep may be affected for such people. Feet related issues might be there. They might have to deal with a little bit of anxiety during this Saturn transit in the 12th house. It is also possible in relationships for Aries ascendant people to feel a little isolated from their close ones, or there might be some karmic relationships which can come to an end. Something that was going on for some long time that can come to an end. Then, in terms of finances, you will see increased expenses for Aries ascendant. Gains from foreign resources can come, or foreign sources can be coming, like you're working for an organization which probably pays you in US dollars or something for your services. For Aries also, you would see focus on foreign careers might be there. There might be some research work, and you would be feeling sometimes some work needs solitude, which means you have to work alone. There is also a possibility for Aries ascendant people during this Saturn transit of relocation to foreign countries abroad. And also there is a lot of opportunities during these 2.5 years for Aries ascendant people to go on spiritual retreats. Okay. Then let's go to the next, which is Taurus. So Taurus ascendant people, Saturn will be in your 11th bhava, the 11th house. So you will have to go through some practical approach towards spiritual groups. You will probably have to realign with your disciplined networking, and your network has to be evaluated. There might be some circulatory related problems or joint related problems, which is stiffness in the joints. Some of your friendships will be redefined. Some old connections in your life might prove to be very valuable for you. Then slow but steadily your finances will start growing, but for that you need to bring in a disciplined approach in your life. Then in terms of a career, you have to think and plan for long-term gains, and then you will see that you will be going towards from smaller organizations. There is a good chance that you will be going into larger organizations. Then in the key events, you will see some of your desires that you always had will also manifest for you, and this will have an implication from your past life. There might be recognition that will happen for Taurus rising people, but only after certain delay. It might not happen immediately, but there might be certain delays in getting whatever you want. Then Gemini. For Gemini people, Saturn's transit in Pisces will be through your 10th house. This means there needs to be some challenges in your career. Then there could be some spiritual maturity that you need to show in your within your community. Then you would see knee joint pain or knee joint related problems can come up. Then second thing is they should work on their posture, which means their backbone. There could be lower back problems that can come in. Professional relationships will demand that there should be more patience that they should show, and they should show more endurance. Then for Gemini, career driven financial goals and growth is also recommended or will happen. Avoid any kind of shortcuts in your job. Don't do any kind of shortcuts. Then authority will increase for you. Responsibilities will increase at your work. You will have to put in more effort. Then you would be given more responsibilities, which means if you are looking to be elevated, you will get elevated. It is also possible that some of Gemini ascendants will look at some career sort of restructuring, which means they might be changing their career completely. They would also be focusing on certain areas of their life where they have been struggling for recognition for their work. Maybe that is something that they have to realign. Next is Cancer. So Cancer, you will see Saturn will be going through the 9th house. Okay, for Cancer ascendant, Saturn in Pisces, 9th house. That shows long pilgrimages, deep learning into philosophy, traditional cultures, and other areas, which means some scriptures, some traditional work might be there. Then bones and spinal cord health might require some attention for Cancer rising people. They can be distance from your father or mentor. There might be new teachers, new karmic guides who will come during this phase of your life. You would gain from higher education. You would also have opportunities to go to foreign lands for higher education or for the purpose of gaining some new skill or talent. There would be career shifts that might happen towards teaching, law, research, or spirituality. And for Cancer rising, the key events that will be highlighting for you is some legal matters might come up. There might be some higher learnings that you have to do, and some spiritual breakaways or breakthroughs may come because you are going towards meeting with a teacher or a guru who might bring a lot of transformation in your life. The next is Leo. Anybody who's a Leo rising, Leo ascendant, Leo lagna, this is Saturn's transition through your 8th bhava or 8th house. Transformation through hidden knowledge, occult studies. In terms of health, you'll have to watch for chronic ailments. Especially if you're looking for children or something, there might be some difficulties in having or begetting children. If you're planning for that, then you should take care of anything to do with your womb. If it's a woman, it's a womb or a uterus. Urinary tract infections or anything can also happen. Health concerns might be there. Leo, you would also see in terms of relationship, there is intensity in relationship. Some relationship related karmas have to be repaid, because you should always think it's not about just receiving, it is now a payback time for you. For Leos, you would also see unexpected gains and even losses can happen through some things which is related to inheritance related matters. If you're looking at inheritance, then evaluate the inheritance. Money can come in through insurance also. Then career in research, psychology, or esoteric fields like Jyotish, Vedic astrology, tarot, Reiki, pranic healing might be something that you might be doing for Leo. There might be some psychological breakthroughs. Then you will also have some deep karmic shifts that will happen for Leo. Okay, the next is Virgo. For Virgo rising people, Virgo Lagna, Virgo ascendant, you will see that the Saturn will be transiting in Pisces through the 7th bhava. So for the 7th bhava, the thing is on the spiritual side, you will definitely have greater spiritual partnerships. You would also see there is business partnerships that you might be forging, and some new love affairs are going to also start for Virgo rising. Skin and bone related issues can come. Avoid getting into stress, and these people can also have a tendency to put on weight and also have a tendency to see blood pressure related issues. Also issues related to uh, arthritis, bone, osteoporosis. You would also see Virgo people will also have to take care of cholesterol, cortisols. If you're looking at any partnerships in marriage or anything, there could be some delays. Your existing relationships will be tested during this time. Financial partnerships need to be taken with a little bit of caution. There could be some slowness in the growth that might happen. Business or contractual work requires a lot of patience, and you need to be firm with what is your objectives, what are your key responsible areas at your workplace, and you should only take those things that you are able to deliver. So key events for Virgo rising people, major relationship related decisions, and you will always see it is going to be something between giving a commitment for a relationship, or with existing relationships, there can be some kind of detachment that can happen. Okay, now I will, before I go, because we have covered 6 rashis, I can take a small pause. Vishnu Priya, is there any questions that anybody has for the first 6 before I go to the next 6?
Pessoal, vocês têm alguma coisa? Aproveita que ele está aqui, ele é super generoso. Deixa eu ver. I'd like to know a little bit more of Jupiter in Nardara Nakshatra.
Okay, Jupiter is in, whenever it goes into Ardra is a very transformative nakshatra, and it will give you that anything that you have avoided to practice in your life and you have run away from some of your duties, you will have to do those duties. Especially to the elderly people, you will have to be more respectful. You should also, probably Jupiter in Ardra will want you to you need to take care of some of your elders. That might show that Jupiter in Ardra. Also, sometimes you would see these people would do activities which is out of the box. Out of the box means, suppose you have been doing certain traditions and you're following, this is a time when Jupiter enters there, you might go to an unconventional approach in your life.
Thank you, Dr. Arjun Pai. I have actually one question. Let me see what I wrote. Saturn is known as the karmic teacher. Do you think that this transit is going to be very karmic for the Pisces ascendant people? Because we have eclipses, 2 eclipses that are going to happen. And then people are terrified with the 6 planetary conjunction on the March 29. Do you see that need for being terrified with that?
I don't think we should be looking at being terrified, but I want to say this is the time I very clearly mentioned is the time when you have to let go, because you have to surrender. And those people who resist surrendering to the fate and destiny will have to feel the pain. So the best way is, sometimes we are holding on to some emotions, sentiments of our past, which means this is a time when the 6 planets are coming, and we have 14th of March, we have a total lunar eclipse, which is happening in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. Moon will be there. So that would be in Leo. So it's going to be very transformative for Pisces. Then secondly, we will also see that the next is a partial solar eclipse on 29th of March. See, 29th of March will mark a lot of transformation because Saturn will be changing signs. There are 6 planets which will be also in Pisces. And to add to that, there is going to be a partial solar eclipse, and it is going to be a new moon day. So the new moon day is happening in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, so which is the center of Pisces. So the energies would be very, very jolting you. It's going to give you a shock, like a feeling for the temporary. But for those people who have already accepted this event coming up, you can be feeling, because what will happen? Nervous system is going to be jolted. Anxiety, depression, fear, phobias, all of this is going to come in. So the best thing for those times is the next fortnight. I would encourage people to spend more time in nature. Spend time in your parks, go for nature walks, spend time with trees. Because when you are there in the presence of anything in nature, then all of this will not happen to you. You will not feel the jolt very much. Also, a bit of advice during this eclipse season, try to stay away from social media. Try to stay away from watching, YouTube videos, Instagram posts and other thing, because anyhow, you will feel the energies, and if you start seeing, you will get more overwhelmed, because many people will start telling you stories about 6 planets, this planet. Sometimes even if you switch off your radio, your television, your phones can be kept silent, and say you are in a retreat and spend more time in nature, you will see this phase will also pass.
Sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun Pai. I have one person which is questioning if there is a risk of another pandemic situation.
I do not think there is going to be a risk of another pandemic, but what I can tell you is there is going to be a risk of many natural calamities, like an earthquake.
Right.
Or some, I can also say there could be rise in water content, which means like floods, tsunamis. I'm not trying to be a dooms doctor here, trying to say something bad is going to happen, but because of Mars, see, it's not only Shani, which is the main person here. Mars will also be going through its debilitated Rashi, which is Cancer. And Mars has been spending almost 6 months. Generally, Mars spends not more than 45 days in a Rashi. But because of its retrograde motion and how it is interplay that is happening, Mars is staying in Gemini and Cancer for almost 6 months.
Right.
For which I feel there has to be something can happen with Mother Earth. And that's why I'm thinking something with earthquakes is a very high possibility. And you would feel a lot of people feeling the pain, the suffering might be there mentally more than the agony might be there.
Right. The last question is, do you have going on current courses? If we want to study with you, how we connect with you to do those courses?
Yeah, I definitely teach on courses every weekend. If I don't know what is the level of understanding of people in Brazil, but what you want to learn, if you can tell me, then we can do short courses. What day of the week is the best for you people? Then if you have at least 10, 15 students, I can definitely organize to come and teach you.
Okay, I'll see if I can organize this group. Actually, they are beginners, in my understanding, but I'm going to organize this group and then I'll connect to
Yeah,
you.
I can teach you from the basics. I can teach you from the foundation. I
Right.
want people who are beginners. And I hope this translation thing is good. Then you can understand this live translation that is there.
Mhm.
If that is good, then I'm happy to start with all of you people. But more the people who want to join, it would be more better. Then I can
Right.
teach you like how, Guru and Shishya means student, how a teacher would teach, that we can do. But usually I'm busy on weekends, but weekdays, if some people prefer, and if this is a good time, like 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. or 7 p.m., then we can definitely schedule for the weekday. What is the best time? You can ask your audience, Vivian.
Qual seria o melhor horário para vocês, para a gente montar, quem sabe, uma turma? I think this time is good for everyone. 7 p.m. maybe, which would be 3 p.m. in your time.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's good. These captions are not working well. I'm checking the Portuguese here is not good, but as per I can see, they pretty much understand what you're saying. And also later, I'm going to upload, if you allow me, this video on YouTube, and then they have this automatic captions on YouTube, and people is going to understand better. But this is like my seva to form a group for you to be your guru in Vedic astrology in Brazil.
Sure. But I can see here through the captions, whatever I'm speaking, is it coming live? Are people able to catch this, whatever I'm speaking? Should I speak slowly in English? Would that help?
No, it's okay. It's okay. They are catching. It's not pretty much accurate, but it is working, I think.
Okay.
Somebody's saying that it is okay. It is perfect.
Perfect. Good. So if you can tell me how many people want to participate, then I can do 7 p.m. your time.
Right.
On a weekday, we can do some, lessons or courses. So more people want to join, they can start, we can
Sure.
do that as well.
Sure. This is why I'm going to upload this video on YouTube, and then more people will come. Maybe in 20 days, I'll have the group, and count on me. As I said, this is my seva, because I really have a great, you are my guru in Vedic astrology. I have this great admiration and gratitude for all.
Thank you very much for having me. So let me quickly continue, and I'll take another 10 minutes to continue the other 6 rashis that we haven't covered. So quickly I'll do that so that people who are here will, will get the Saturn transit. So Libra ascendant people, Saturn in Pisces will be in your 6th house. This is the time when you'll have to think about karma yoga. The mindset has to be about not going and doing prayers, meditation, and anything, but you have to bring a discipline of doing seva or service to humanity. And this should be
Dr.
not.
Arjun Pai, excuse me for
Yes.
interrupting you. I'm Libra, and I'm already saying about making this seva. I just said the word seva, and then now you were saying for Libra.
Yes.
It's so accurate.
Yes. So this is the only way that you will be able to transcend through the Saturn transit, seva, seva. So there are 3 starting with the S: seva, sadhana, which means spiritual practices, and satsang. Satsang means this is a satsang of people who have common goals in their life, common achievements that they want to do, come and meet with good people with good intentions. That is one of the things for these people with Libra. Then for Libra, the thing is digestive system, issues with digestion, bloating of the stomach, gastrointestinal problems, acidity. Then there would also be certain people who are a little bit aged Libra. You will have problems with your bones. You might also feel you're losing weight, but you don't know why. There would be lack of, appetite. Then rivalries or legal disputes may require your patience. If you're going through some law, court issues, then you need a lot of patience. It will be dragged along for a long period of time. This is a time when Librans have to look at your litigations, look at your debt, your loans, and structure them clearly during 2.5 years. Otherwise, you will see your finances will go out of control. My request to all Librans is to give up on credit cards and start working only on debit cards. If there is debt on your credit cards, start repaying as much as possible. Every Tuesday, you have to pay some part of your debt. Hard work will pay off. Study, job, and growth is also promised for Libra. Legal matters, overcoming enemies, there could be jealousy, and having a very structured health routine. What is structured? Which means if you're going to the gym, going to the yoga, keep a discipline. Next is Scorpio. Scorpio, Saturn will be in the 5th house. There has to be some kind of creative talents, creativity, discipline, mantras, meditation practice, follow it very ritualistically. if you have to be initiated, then this is the best time to get initiated into a mantra. And from there, you should always practice it very regularly for scorpions. Scorpio, heart is the area that you have to be careful. Spine, which means lower back, L4, L5 of your backbone can be, don't go to lift anything heavy that can impact you. Mental health might require more care. Mental health is not very well known, and we always feel, going to a doctor will help. Doctor will only give you medicines. You need definitely more, bringing more peace and tranquility through taking herbal medicines like Ayurveda. You could probably even learn Ayurveda. Then parenting is going to be an issue. If you are a mother, if you are a father, then you need to pay attention to your children. That would be the main area of your life for this next 2.5 years. Then speculation and investments, you have to be very, very careful, which means investing into stocks, trades, and other things. Research and creative fields are very good for you, and that is what it will give you a lot of success. Something related to your child related karmas might unfold for scorpions, and you might be involved with some deep creative related initiatives. Next, Sagittarius. For Sagittarians, Pisces will be your 4th house through which Saturn will be going. So some things related to your home, your emotional detachment needs to be paid attention to. Something with your mother, something with your respiratory issues, stress because of some family members that you have to give additional responsibility. If you have an aged parent, you might have to take responsibilities of caregiving for them. Some of people can also move from one place to another. Then there is also promise that they might also change countries. Then there might be significant delays in real estate or property related matters. During this time, you'll have to be extremely cautious about your financial moves. Working from home might be a better norm for you. Then those people who want to also go into agricultural fields, then this is a great thing for Sagittarians. Home, relocation to a different country, immigration, parental responsibilities are going to increase for Sagittarius. Next, Capricorn. For Capricorn, Saturn will be in your 3rd house or your 3rd bhava. So for those Capricorns, structured approach in communication is required. You would probably do some translation work. You might also think about your nervous system. Ear, nose, and throat might become the heightened focus. Some strained relationship with your siblings or your brothers or sisters can also happen. Your networking issues might require more patience. Always save data on your laptop and keep a backup of them, because you might lose all your information if you are not keeping a proper data backed up. Gains will come through self-effort. Some long-term projects will also come to you, which will give you a lot of focus. Career will be also good. Some things might also come that you want to start suddenly, feel like writing a blog, doing some videos, traveling, short travels. Teaching might be there. People who are interested in writing journalism might also benefit. Some issue can come up with your neighborhood or with your neighbors. So short travels, discipline in learning, and enhanced resilience is needed for Capricorns. Next, Aquarius. Discipline in speech, refinement of your values. Then 2nd house, that's why your dietary preferences. Maybe you have to pay attention to what you're eating, right? Teeth and dental problems may come up. You might have cavities, you might have a root canal treatment. Then family, you have to take time for your family. If you're too much involved with your profession, then the family will demand your time during this Saturn transit. Then also emotional matters may come up. Financial issues may come up. Saving is not going to be as easy, right? Certain slowdown that might happen in wealth accumulation because of expenses. Steady growth will come in expenses and finances, but you have to be very careful of using online systems like online banking, digital banking, and other things. Be careful of many scams, spam, and be wary about people calling in about financial frauds. So financial restructuring, caution, investments, and something to do with your ancestors and your ancestral properties, wealth, or ancestral traditions can come up for Aquarians. And last but not the least is Pisces. There is going to be a lot of areas for Pisces is about self, esteem, reassess your self-worth. You have to reinvent yourself. There could be self-transformation. Focus is definitely going to be on losing some weight, right? And posture and immunity building and stamina building. Then there is a sense of sometimes feeling isolated, feeling alienated. Sometimes you also feel that you are in a relationship, but you're not getting the value out of the relationship. So the main areas for Pisces is stability in your finance. There could be some delays because of that. You need to show some leadership skills. You need to show patience and a very structured way that you can achieve your successes. Personal identities are going to be shifting for you. Personal goals and milestones are also going to be shifted. So major karmic life events will unfold for Pisces because Saturn is going over your natal lagna. So this is what I wanted to summarize for all the 12 ascendants. Vishnupriya, is there anybody who has any questions? I'm very happy to answer, and then we can quickly wrap up today's discussion.
Alguém tem mais alguma pergunta? Senão a gente já vai encerrar. No, they don't have any questions. If they want a consultation with you, how you can be connected?
They can contact me on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook, Dr. Arjun Pai Astrology. So you can look up for me there, and then you can send me a private message for a consultation. Okay. So Instagram, that's Dr. Arjun Pai. On Twitter, Dr. Arjun Pai. On Facebook, I am on Dr. Arjun Pai Astrology. I'm also on YouTube. You can also visit my YouTube channel, Dr. Arjun Pai Astrology.
Okay, so they are thanking you very much. And then I have one request, one more. If one day you can come back to teach us about karmas.
We can surely have a class on that. But again, we need to see how are the people when it comes to astrology. If they understand, I can tell you about the karmas. But if they want to learn, then we can have a class which is just learning from about the karmas which are there based on your ascendant. We can have that as well.
Okay. And I thank you very much always. Thank you for your generosity, your wisdom, and I'll never be thankful enough. Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun Pai.
Thank you.
And
thank
say
you,
hello.
everybody.
Say hello to your wife from Brazil.
Thank you. Yes,
okay.
We will. Okay, thank you very much. And we are so much grateful for having me here. And keep me posted if people want to also, not only for consultations, but if they want to also see what videos you would like me to post on my YouTube, or if there is something that you would like to learn, some subject, you can send me a message as well on Instagram.
Yes, I will. I'm going to work on that.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks everybody. Namaste. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Namaste. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Gente, vamos para live, vamos fazer uma live lá no Insta. Ai, gente, tá gravando. Peraí, olha eu. Era de parar de gravar. Como é que para de gravar? Isso daqui vai tudo pro ar. Então vamos lá pro Insta, tá, gente? Beijo. Até já.